How you guys doing? Welcome back. Today is March 1st, 2022. I am Evan. This is By the Bulls Trading. In today's video, I'm going to show you 8 great stocks you could play today, tomorrow, and the rest of this week. And just in general, you should have watch listed. Folks don't talk about these, but I do. I want to keep you guys informed. I have some great plays for y'all today. On top of that, I'm going to show you the technical analysis that brought me to where I came with why I chose these plays. We have supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, all these types of great things. I will teach you how to fish for yourself on any time frame, any equity, and how technical analysis and proper fundamental analysis together really leads to some great success. If you watch this video from start to finish in its completion, I can guarantee you will learn something new and have some more tickers to add to your watch list, some more little tools on your belt to be more successful in the market. With that being said, let's get into it. If you are brand new, welcome. I do have a free course for you. It's 25 parts on my YouTube. Go check that out. It means the world to me. Secondly, if you really enjoy my content, my Patreon only charges the first of the month. So you can go to my Patreon down below in the description box and go join. You get 5 morning, 5 nightly newsletters. You're going to get early video access. They're getting this at 4:15. You're getting closer to 7 or 8 o'clock. They get the picks around noon. They get a whole bunch of great stuff. I update all the tickers. I have a live portfolio that I trade that you can watch. It's verified on my Patreon as well on my Discord. It's free until April 1st, head of the month. It's free. Go check it out. It's risk-free to you. I love for you to come check that out for real. Lastly, I have gotten about 50 subs the last few days. It means the world to me. I can't compete with the large channels, so encouraging you to go like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm going to show my big dumb face with some horribly awkward eye contact as my cat hits all the buttons. I'll show you with the cat cam in a minute. But I can't compete with them. Liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell notification means a lot to me. 65% of you are subscribed, but 35% of you are goofing around. With that being said, 5 seconds, horribly awkward eye contact for you to scroll off my face and go subscribe. Let's do this.
Prolonged eye contact. 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 Prolonged eye contact.
So that being said, 8 amazing plays, many of which you probably haven't played before. I want to show you the technicals behind them and why I chose them. Let's get into it. So first is Aflac. I called Aflac actually right here a good this was months ago. Yeah, a good 2 months ago and some change. It was a great ascending triangle breakout play. I said, hey, nice breakout. It took off and made a nice move up. What a great play. I want to retest this resistance area, right? This trend line is very much alive. This resistance trend is very much alive. And we can see this regression line in the middle is very much alive. Am I rushing in after a nice downtrend of a good 12, 13%? Not really. Earnings overreaction coming back down. I want to see it maybe hold off here and make a support. What I'm looking for is how it reverses fairly often. We can see it takes a long period of time for a reversal. Takes a long period of time for reversal. Takes a long period of time for reversal. Many times it comes down, muddles around, and then it takes off. So I want to see a bit more action, a bit more green before I rush in. It had a gap, it filled it, and now we're kind of holding. No real major gaps below. There are a few, and a lot of gaps like to be filled. No real ones above us. That's okay. Overall, though, a great uptrend at a great value. A great stock that's not going anywhere. Aflac Insurance isn't going anywhere. It's a great pick. Let's check our indicators. What's so cool about this channel, besides me and a dope-ass cat cam, is I don't use indicators as a crutch. Indicators are going to be your icing. The cake is the technical analysis. Num, 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 num. What you can find out from indicators is momentum, trend, volume, and volatility. I got this light on my face. I got to change my blinds. That's annoying. Wait. So indicators in themselves are there to help you enter, help you exit, help you plan a trade, all these great things. But we rely on the technical analysis to really show us what we're looking at. So with that being said, if you are a newer trader, you'll see live what I see. I've looked at these before, so see what I see live. Let's do it together. So what we can see is that a 10 crossover is pretty great. You can get a crossover the 10. It has some really nice run-ups. The 10 is the blue line. You cross the 10, really good short-term swings and great day trade opportunities. Over the 50, great longer-term swings. We're talking a good 25, 30 days for a good hold. You could cross the 50 here, hold it a good 42 days. That's when you get your great long-term holds. Over the 200, we're talking great long-term hold as well. RSI is low, stochastic is low, bulls are low, bears are high. What we're looking at here basically, as I adjust my cat who's hitting his tail on the microphone, what we're seeing here is a value entry. There's multiple ways to enter a stock. The three main ways beginners use, well, there's two main ways for beginner, but it's value, like, hey, prices dropped enough, value. It crosses an EMA line or some type of momentum entrance. That's the second. And then third is scaling in, a mix of both. A play like AFL here is really a great value entry. Let this bad boy fall to us. Give me another 2 or 3%. Former support, low risk, high reward. Overall, Affleck, it's not going anywhere. It's a great pick. I definitely love what I see. So next is CNO. It's a really nice looking small uptrend here. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4, maybe 5 here. I point that out because a really good uptrend has more than 2 hits. Any one of you idiots, any one of me idiots, can draw a trend line from A to B. But from A, B, C, in this case, D shows much more consistency. That's double with the fact we have a very consistent resistance here, right? 1 solid hit, 2, 3, 4. This is a really nice looking possible ascending triangle, my favorite pattern. I'm very biased against these. The reason I love these plays is the higher lows and the same resistance. You can buy it in this trend line and then aim to hit about $26 without fail here for your planning purposes. Even if the trend here is dumb and I'm wrong. Look at the support line of $21.90, $22. It comes down here, absolute rock solid support. You can risk 3% at most, 4% if you're real liberal, to make about 18 or 19%, 6-1 odds. The POC is our highest volume node here. If this holds and pulls us higher, even better. Again, a nice convergence spot, support, POC pulling us higher, and trendline here pulling us higher for support. Overall, a great move. Earnings overreaction, gaps like to be filled. Ladies and gentlemen, gap right there, 2 of them. This wants to move up and fill this gap, at least 6% move. I love what I see. When it comes to our indicators, first of all, our cat looks so cute today. It's a good boy in his box. Our RSI is at 31. Love it. Stochastic is low. Love it. Bulls are low. Bears are high. With this stochastic, I wanted to mention this today. It's like the vortex, right? When you cross over the red to green, it's a move up. But look at, when you cross blue over red, that's when you get your best moves. Now, it is a lagging indicator, okay? So now that we're kind of really pointed down south with no form of life, no point rushing in. But if we bottom out towards maybe -72, that's your best value. Anywhere down there is a great entrance. CNO, once again, to me, this looks like a great value purchase. I don't think there's any real reason to think you can do a crossover play here, a MACD crossover. It makes very little sense here. It's a value entry. If you enjoy crossover plays, give it a few days. If it makes a support and that 10 EMA line comes down and the MACD kind of settles out, then you can go for a crossover. But overall, CNO, a great sell-off, great earnings overreaction, gap above. I love what I see. I would definitely watch list it. Next is HBAN, the same exact play of CNO, but I don't think it has the ascending triangle aspect because we have a lot more breaks over here. Now, of course, I could put a trend or line here in this area and say, yeah, it's making somewhat of a ascending triangle. It very much is in a way. It's not the clearest of day, right? It's close. I wouldn't put a lot of emphasis into that. What I'm looking at, though, is this rock solid support spot, $14, right? If the $14 support doesn't hold, I would just get out and then wait for this great support of $13. 14 and 13. These are fantastic supports. Look at 1 hit, 2 major hits, and then possibly 3 if it holds here. Again, this trend up only has 2 hits that are defined right now. Considering it an uptrend, to me, is faulty because it only has 2 solid hits. It needs to have 3 for me to be confident. And so I wouldn't put much emphasis into the trend. I put it because it is there. But this is a very good support play and horizontal channel play. Additionally, again, the POC is a gravitational node. It wants to pull us higher. Even here, giving like the volume profile line the risk. 4% to make hopefully around 8 for a bad move, and a good move is 3-1. I wouldn't risk that much myself. I'd probably risk 1.5%, 2%. But HBAN here looks really good. It does have very quick reversal times, like it does reverse in 2 or 3 days every single time. So you gotta be aware that it may be moving quickly. But overall, I do love what I see. When it comes to our indicators, again, this is not a momentum purchase, right? If we want to wait for the 10 EMA line here, I'll zoom in. We're waiting for the 10 EMA line here to come down like this, and then the price kind of goes sideways. That does one of these bad boys. Like, oh, muddle, 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 muddle like this, and kind of go sideways. Then you go for a crossover play, right? But as of right now, you're not going to wait 4% for a crossover when your risk is 4%. That makes very little sense here. It's a value purchase. Evan, how do you know we have value? Well, listen here, you delightful idiots. I got your back. What's great is that the RSI is at 32, great value. Stochastic's at negative 40, great value. Bulls are low, bears are high. I will mention this again. The stochastic bottoms out at negative 72 here. We are not there yet, and there's no sign of life. All right, vortex indicator bottoms out at 52. We're at 877. HBAN has room to drop. The RSI is not bottomed out. The stochastic is not bottomed out. I think that trend line is faulty. I think it's good. I think it's fine. But I think if you're talking about the markets are red tomorrow, the resistance trend on the SPY holds, this bad boy is seeing $14 or $13 for an optimal entry. But I think either way, HBAN, a great purchase. I would watch list it. I would just give it some patience, like I'm Guns N' Roses. What a sick joke. On to the next one. Little patience. Next is Kim. We all know someone named Kim, and you know what? I've had a lot of Kims in my life. They've always been great people. If your name's Kim, you're watching this, shout out to you. Look at this trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was waiting for it over here. It ran up on me. It was irritating. It's like lore. I didn't call that today. I had an alert. It's all goofy on this. I had an alert here, and it ran up 6% on me. Really, really grinding my gears. Kim is very similar. Great uptrend here. Great resistance trend. It's a nice channel up. It's very similar to Aflac. I'm sure there's some form of regression line in here. Look at that. That's not just arbitrary. We can see life here, a lot of bouncing off this line, right? It's a nice channel up, as you can see. What's really great about this is it's a nice support play. Again, if it breaks down 2 or 3%, you have this layer of support here for us. This is going to cushion us. Earnings, overreaction is getting volatile, right? This is a nice play, nice trend up. I want to hopefully see it bounce here and go up. I'm not very confident with the market, but it does hold here. I love what I see. Worst case, if you're not a trendline person, an entry at 22.20 makes a whole lot of sense as well. When it comes to our indicators, oh, my little gremlin's all slumped. It's a good boy right there on the camera. I didn't mean to wake you up. What we can see is, again, a crossover. A 10's fine. It's 2% away. All right, it's 2%. In a perfect world, I would have more money and I'd be more famous. That's okay, though. In a perfect world, the 10 would do this, and then you go for the crossover. Up here, 2% added risk to me makes very little sense. You can play it. I don't love it. I think we're seeing value. Again, RSI's at 41. It could be lower, but before you're like, it has to be under 30 for a good deal. Look at, if I were to zoom out, let's just go from over here, right? Went across the 200. It's moved 7% in a few months here. It makes sense it's in the middle. It's consolidating sideways. Look at this. Consolidating sideways. So it makes sense it's not a great value. Then that's okay. Ours or stochastic negative 36. Again, it's a lagging indicator, but I see no life at all. There's no sign of life, no sign of curling. It's not bottoming out yet. It has more room to drop. Vortex, again, it's consolidating, it's constricting. It makes sense. We're going sideways. So I think that KIM here has a good chance of bouncing. It also has an equally good chance of breaking down 22, if not a bit lower. I think what the main key here, again, just like with their plays with HBAN and CNO and FLAC, is patience. It's patience. Can you finally get the macro markets lined up with the sectors you're watching, with the plays that you're watching? If you can get all those lined up to be at value, well, then value entries make sense, sweet baby. And if the indexes blast off over the resistance trend, the sectors blast off, we get a bunch of crossovers, well, then you play the crossover, you sweet devil yourself. Oh my goodness, so handsome and pretty. If we get all those, we should be good to go. Either way, my dumbass ramblings aside, KIM is a great play. I'll definitely watch this. I love what I see. Next is MTW Manitowoc Company, a well-known name. A great wedge down. I'm kind of regretting not buying it earlier myself. I really like this play. The support that I drew comes from an old resistance area, and then it became a support once. Not the strongest support I've ever seen. Definitely 12.7 is a better support, but I don't want to play off of that. It's going to take months to do that. Look, it has 4 or 5 solid hits here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 solid hits, and this is a nice 10% move. I mean, don't shake a tail feather at that. Great resistance trend with 4 hits. It's consolidating. This is our POC again. It wants to pull us up higher, okay? We can see the risk here being maybe 4%, 3 at most, to make about 12 without even a breakout. MTW has price targets like 28 or 34. It has some really good ones. It's a great wedge down, Sure, wedge downs do break down occasionally, but it looks like to me an earnings overreaction. Folks are trying to form a support, and let's look at the reversal times real quick. Look at a gap down, came up, bounce. Look at gap down, came back. Look at this, very quick, very quick. It usually takes no more than 2 or 3 days. We've been doing this for about what, like 6 days? What an eye. So I mean, we're getting to the point where a reversal is going to come up or down. Volatility is coming, but overall a nice wedge down. I do love what I see. I'm sure the 50, yeah. So the 10 EMA line is great in wedge downs and I guess general downtrends for day trading. It's important to note this if you watch this far. Thank you. But secondly, EMA lines for me, the 10 EMA line is what I use. When you cross over that, you have good day trades and short-term swings, 2 to 3 days. You cross the 10, you ride that bad boy up, it comes down, you get out. The 50 EMA line is your best for just swing trading in general. You're over the 50, that's a great sign to go long and continue to go long. A 200 break means it could become a long-term investment if it works on your advantage. So with a 10 cross here, it's fine for day trading. Again, I'm not going to wait 4% to see that myself, right? You saw that here, it died off. But the 50, that's a tasty little nugget. You're over the 50, you have your best run-ups, right? So this whole entire rundown, the 50 has been a major resistance. So you want to wait for a 50 cross? You can. I don't know why you would. That'd be a great breakout play. We had that with Airy the other week. We call this one too. This was another great breakout. It took longer than I thought, but that's what I'm talking about. Broke over the 50, made a nice move up, right? MTW here, a 50 cross is fine, but I wouldn't wait for the breakout. I like the value. With value, RSI, it's low. Stochastic could be lower, which again, I think it may take more time for this to develop. And then with Vortex, bulls are low. They could be lower. Bears are high. They could be higher. MTW does turn around often in this 37 RSI range and does reverse often in this trend line. And as I said before, I'll always put TA over indicators. And so I think it's a great value. Of course, 3% lower if it has a red day tomorrow. Minimizes all risk and you have a great breakout potential. But I think either way you play it, MTW, you need a watch list. I do love what I see. Next is OCFC, Ocean First Financial. There's a key here, or a similarity here. We have insurance companies, bank. We also have another bank down below. A lot of financials today. I wonder why. A great trend up. 1 hit, 2, 3, 4. And as of recently, it's forming a nice channel up. Again, I'm sure in some respect, I can find a regression line in here to kind of further that. Put that bad boy in the middle. And we can see this is a good test. Hit, gap here, hit, hit. Rides this trend line up, becomes a resistance. So you see it's a nice channel up. This trend line lasts in the middle and it also lasts on both sides. A good verification. We have a nice channel up here. Once again, the POC is going to be our strongest support and resistance. Look at that. Look how it's being a resistance, how it's being a support. It wants to pull us higher. You may only get 2 or 3% of this play before you really get bored and trade something else. Because look at the reversal time of this bad boy. It takes 16 days. It took, wrong button, 24 days. It takes its time to reverse, even over here. Oh, a nice move up, and it took 23 days to continue that. It does take its time. It is day 5. So you may be seeing this for a long period of time, building up strength, building up a support, but we have a nice old support spot, became a resistance, became a support again, and again, we're risking 2-3% at most to make hopefully 10 or 15. Again, it may be a longer term hold. It may get boring, but it's a very low risk entry. I do love what I see for a financial play here. EMA lines, again, I'm not waiting for a crossover of 2% when I risk 2%. That's doubling my risk for almost nothing. Again, if we do go sideways, boop, 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 a lot of bars like this, and the 10 EMA line kind of does this and comes down, then a crossover makes sense. But for now, I'm looking for value. RSI 39, fine value. Vortex, it just crossed under. I want to see negative 40 at least. Bulls are pretty low. They're bottoming out. That's a great sign of value. Bears are getting up there. So I think OCFC is going to kind of meander here. What a good word. Sideways, consolidate for a little bit longer in a short time frame, take a few days, and then really take off. But overall, for a financial play, finances look fine. It's a good play in my opinion. I'd watch list it. I do love what I see. Next is USB. No, not the plug-in thing, but a nice financial play as well. Again, I love this for the risk management. Again, you're looking to risk 1%, 2 to make at least 6. I mean, that's a great play right there. 3 to 1 for a small move. A good move is going to render you what? Like a 5 move is 7 to 1 odds here. You're losing the convergence. I don't see any trend up. I don't see anything crazy. What we give up in convergence and bullish factors, we get back in simplicity. Look at, if it holds 53.30, go long. If it breaks down below 53, cut and move on, right? We have lower highs. Nice. I mean, you may have a little wedge forming here, baby. You may have something forming here. You may have some nice little wedge coming down. But a nice little falling trend line coming in. And we're near 53.30 is a great value. POC wants to pull us higher. It's going sideways. It's consolidating greatly. I just love the risk versus reward. Obvious earnings overreaction. Overall, it's a fantastic horizontal play. I'm not going to repeat myself. A 10 crosses too far away. You get the gist at this point. RSI, it's low. Stochastic, it's low. But again, the stochastic bottoms out all the way down here, right? Bottoms out at negative 80. If I go sideways here, watch this. I go sideways. Every time it hits negative 80, does it have a good, consistent reversal if it bottoms out all the way at bottom at negative 80? Now look it back. Every single time you bottom out, besides this huge sell-off, it's had nice reversals. So if it's me, I'm going to wait for it to get down just a bit lower, which may coexist nicely with kind of going down just a bit more. RSI stochastic vortex is also low. USB to me is good at 53.30 or when the stochastic dips just a bit more. But overall, it's a very easy horizontal play. Do your due diligence. There's a reason the earnings were trash. But overall, it's a really good horizontal play. Low risk, easy simplicity, great play for a beginner. I do love what I see. And lastly is WYNN Resorts. This is a really nice play. I played this multiple times. I played it on the breakout here. I played it on the uptrend. It was a really good play over here. And now we're starting to consolidate again. What we do see is that this is a very strong support spot and a very traditionally strong resistance spot. It has massive pinnacle spots on this time frame, right? This was a resistance. Now it's being a support once again. Overall, great higher lows. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully going to be 4 here. Great support spot. Again, if we lose that $81 spot, look at $79.30, $79.25 is an absolute snack as well. If you're not one to rush in, rush a joke. Screw them, low key. But this is a really good looking play. Maybe 1-2% lower. And of course, WYNN has a massive, massive price target. As soon as COVID ends and they kind of get back on their feet, this bad boy should be going kerchoo to the moon. Again, simple support play, earnings overreaction. POC wants to pull us higher. It's all there for you. I'm not going to repeat myself, okay? If we have a crossover, it's going to be later on. It's a value purchase. Evan, how do you know? Well, the email line show value. The TA shows value. RSI is low. Stochastic is low. Bulls and bears are tied. It makes sense. We're going sideways. So I think the WYNN here, I needed a percent or two lower, and then I want to buy this one probably towards 3 o'clock tomorrow when markets kind of calm down. I know there's the FOMC coming. I know Jerome Powell's about to get destroyed in that meeting tomorrow. It's going to be great. But overall, WYNN, I do like what I see. I would definitely watch this too. There you guys have it. I appreciate y'all being here for the full episode. It means the world to me. I got to go get some food with some loved ones. It's been a weird week. I'll say that. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for the support. Check out the content. Check out the extra stuff on Patreon. I love you. Bye.